voice of Lincoln, America.
Welcome to Ticket Weeknights
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Heart of a Husker. Another edition. Monday nights, late nights. My brother from another mother is joining me. We got more people supposed to join in as they get in and they go. We working on this all day, every Monday from 8 to 10 now. We might don't stretch it to 10. We'll probably go about an hour today. Warford's gonna be with us for as long as he can, and then he's gonna get out of there. Eric Warfield,
what up?
The pride of Texarkana. How you doing?
What's going on, man?
I don't know.
What we got with the show? What's up with the show? Tell me something about it.
Well, okay, let me just ask you a question because I just happened to, when I got on this show today, it looks a lot better. I got my green screen up, but I accidentally pulled it out. Pulled it and I don't know. So now I'm on my phone, but the heart of a Husker, I want to ask you, this is the show. What does it mean to have a heart of a Husker to you, Warfield?
It's hard to define that because, like playing sports for so long as a kid, I didn't understand what, everything about football, like the X's and O's and, how important just your role was to the team. And getting to Nebraska and being around a coaching staff that was, put together, assembled by, Coach Osborne, and to have somebody of his caliber to not only be as knowledgeable as he was, but to know and get to know each and every individual that was on that team. Now, for somebody like myself, I come from a single parent household. My mom was my main caregiver. So I didn't really have a dad around, and I didn't have nobody to teach me sports except for, uncles and cousins out in the streets, and then my coaches that I had throughout time. So to get with somebody that cared about you, not only about you as a football player, but you as a person, and was also teaching you the right things about sports, but also to be a part of such a great team, man, it's hard to define what really the heart of a Husker is when you come from a Coach Osborne tree. And I think we're all some fruit that fell from that tree, and the way that each one of us had a different personality, a different talent, but he was able to construct each one of us to be the best we could be, but also to have a great team that won national championships. So, man, you just go out there and you play with those guys. And I tell you like this, when I went for my recruit visit, I said, ain't no way I can play with these guys. It's like they're all too big, too fast, and I know I don't belong. I didn't have muscles. I was just an athlete coming out of high school. When I went to go watch the Huskers practice, I'm like, that's too much for me to handle. But then sitting down with Coach Osborne and Coach Samuels, and having them giving me the talk about how I could help this team with my talents get to that level, and how they can bring the best out of me. It made me feel more confident going in, knowing that I had a chance to be a part of something special, and that's kind of what it turned out to be. Now, the heart of a Husker, again, is hard to define because when you come from a high school, you think, you're number one. You go to college, you far from number one. I'm talking about far from number one. But yet, again, you do your role. Your role will turn into team play and get the results of what the coaches are trying to instill in you. So that's kind of what I got from everything out of the entire university. And man, best decision I ever made in my life.
Warfield, you was Prop 48 coming out,
Yep.
and talk a little bit about how tough that was, or how was that tough to be able to navigate. Um, the thing, what did you endure? Let me ask that. What did you endure as a Prop 48 athlete? Kind of what did that mean for you?
I mean, at the time, it was embarrassing because it meant that you didn't have the credentials grade wise to get a full scholarship. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I wasn't intelligent enough. I just didn't do the things needed at the time. And at that point, I was supposed to have the ACT or SAT at a certain level, and I didn't complete. I didn't complete that level after taking it one time, and then after a basketball game, I had one of the coaches at the University of Arkansas pick me up after the game, and they took me to university for a visit, and I had to take the test that morning. So hell, I wasn't prepared. I didn't even know I was going to go take the test, and ended up still not passing it. So going into Nebraska was like, hey man, that was your last chance. So we're still going to take you in as a Prop 48, and that basically means you come in. We'll get whatever grant money to help fund you through a first year, and after that, you go on full scholarship. So within that first year, I had to sit out and watch all the madness go on because that year we were balling. Ended up winning the first national championship, and me and Shevin had to sit on the outside and take care of things in order to make sure that we were ready for the upcoming season. So it was tough, but I got situated, got to know a lot about the team, got to know a lot about my teammates, and heck, damn near made the basketball team because I played basketball so much.
At the height of your career, what was your vertical jump?
I couldn't tell you. I think I got close to 50, man. Cause I was I had some bunnies.
Can you still dunk?
I can't really say that right now, but if I was challenged, I'm pretty sure I could.
I'm quite sure you still got bones. Just to set the table real quick, Eric Warfield was one of those guys that I love watching play basketball because you never knew where he was going to catch the ball and put that thing in there. Throw it to Warfield. So being Prop 48, I'm up here Warfield in my red room, and I don't want it to be too loud, so I got an old school air conditioner, man. It's up here. I'm gonna have to go downstairs for the rest of the show. But you Prop 48, you make it through Prop 48. Can you practice?
Nope.
No. What was you doing all day?
Man, so I was in school. I had to take, as a student athlete, you take a certain amount of credits, but as I'm not practicing, so I got to take full credits to make sure I reach that GPA by the time the season's over with, so that I'm officially a part of the team. So I was a full-time student and a full-time basketball player at the rec center.
Oh, that's how you honed your skills. The truth will set you free. Who was you in there balling with? Was it the basketball team?
Man, I was doing damage, dog. Like I remember, because a lot of the basketball players used to come in like Boone and Strick, Badge, and all those guys. And I used to play with them cats, and I was in there giving them the business. I dunked on a couple of them so hard to where it's like, I think a couple of them had asked Danny, and he was like, "We gotta try to get him on the squad." It's like too hard to pass up on this.
I think you and Kenny probably had the best chance to me to play.
Yeah, Kenny to me, from what I understood, was a better basketball player than he was football. Not to take anything away from his football talents,
right?
Because he was a hell of a receiver, built for the he had that 6'4", 6'5", speedy guy, and he ended up coming to the university as a receiver, and at that time. I think he would have been. I mean, he ended up getting the national championships. I think Kenny should have been a two-way player because we didn't throw the ball a lot to receivers. So for him to say, hey, man, I'm going to go ahead and explore this option here with the basketball team because I know I got the talent. I think he should have, probably talked to Coach Osborne about doing both.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I mean, Kenny had the all-around game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had the ball. But you talk a little bit about, because people don't believe me when I say the guys that I played with played against the basketball team.
Yeah.
Okay? Tommy Frazier, Lawrence Phillips. All these dudes can play basketball. Michael Booker.
We had some ballers, man. So that's the thing. Like, I think for the most part, most of the guys that we had on our team was just athletes. We didn't have like pure football players. We had some pure football players that were dogs on the team, but for the most part, most of our guys were just athletes. They were good in basketball, they were good in track, and they were good in football. So they could have pretty much played multiple sports, but being how intense football was back then, I think it's easy for a guy to play multiple sports in college now because you don't have two-a-days that's double padded. You don't have practices that go for 2-3 hours long. You got to take the pads off halfway through practice, so it's not a lot of contact. You don't have the goal line situation the way we did. If you get a small injury, you don't have to play. We had to play through all this. So imagine having to play through all this and then trying to go out and play another sport. Yeah. That's tough, man. So I can see how hard it is back then for what guys like Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson did, especially to make it at a professional level. But for guys to try to do that in college, that would be tough. But I think that Kenny and myself and a few others probably could have done it.
Who else?
Man, who else was a basketball player? Because oh man,
But who else could have played on that? Who played on that basketball team? Because they was pretty good. They won the NIT one of those years. They're a pretty good team.
So don't give me a face when I give you this name.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis Toleen could ball.
Yes. I put my hands up. You right. Toleen could do his thing.
Travis could go. Man, who else did we have that was just I don't know. Well, Strick ended up trying to do the football thing after basketball, so
that didn't work.
It didn't work.
The bullets start flying. When Mike Minter went past him, man, about decapitating him, man, he was like, Tony Veland, But Warfield, we're gonna throw it to break. When I get back, I wanna know, like, we talk about a heart of a Husker, right? And they didn't just give it to you. Like, you didn't just become Eric Warfield blocking punts, blocking field goals, doing the things that you were doing just because you put the pads on at Nebraska.
Yeah.
You was caught by fire. So when we get back, I want to hear a little bit about how that turned you into who you are.
All right.
We'll be right back. Heart of a Husker. I'm with Warfield. Eric, that is, 2-time national champ. And Warfield, what'd you get? 10 years in the league? 12?
9.
I mean,
9.
9 good big years in the league, baby. We'll be right back.
The captain, Vershan Jackson.
Rich and the double-doubles here. If you had to pass the baton down to the new guy and say, that's the new pipeline, what does that look like?
Conditioning for me, ultimately, is a game changer. I don't care how much you can bench, how much you can squat. If you can start a game and finish a game in the same condition in the extreme elements, you're going to have the ability to wear down your opponent. And that's what we took a lot of pride in. By the third and fourth quarter, they were dog tired. They knew it was coming at them again, the same it was in the first quarter.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to the attention of the Nebraska Lottery that when people hear a radio commercial in their car for one of our lotto games, Powerball, Mega Millions, or Lucky for Life, they tend to begin daydreaming about how they'll spend the prize money if they win, instead of paying attention to the road. So please, when I tell you that Nebraska Lottery Lotto games offer big money and big fun, keep your mind on driving. Do not start thinking about all the things you could buy if you win. Things like bright red sports cars, tropical vacations, 100-inch TVs, hot tubs, SUVs, a new computer, motorboats.
Bob, snap out of it.
Oh, good heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. Perhaps I should go home now.
You better let me drive.
Lotto games from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
This Easter, focus on your family instead of dishes with the Venue Easter to-go meals. Prepared fresh in house by our chefs, these meals are ready to heat and eat with packages for 2 to 3 people or 6 to 8 and your choice of juicy beef tenderloin, tasty herb roasted chicken, or our famous 6-pepper crusted prime rib. All meal packages come with sides and we have additional add-ons available to complete your feast. Order today at venuedelivered.com/Easter. That's venuedelivered.com/Easter.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Part of a Husker. I'm with yours truly, Eric Warfield, a really, really good friend of mine. Somebody I consider a brother from another mother. I spent a lot of time with on and off the field. We grew as men together. Would you say, Warfield? Can you hear me, Warfield?
Yeah, well, I said we've been through a lot.
I mean, you know, when you grow up together, it seemed like, I would say, I mean, you play in the NFL. I'm quite sure you got some friends that you met in the NFL, but how many friends do you still have, even though you played 9 years on the NFL? How many of those guys you still really stay close to?
VJ, I'm a lot.
Do you?
So I always reach out to guys because I know some of the things that like I've gone through. You know, just understanding the life, whether it was college or pro. You know, after football, and after you can't play anymore, man, you kind of lose a certain identity of yourself. And so I've seen a lot of guys go downhill and go downhill hard. And if I can, you know, send a text or a call just to keep people upbeat, you know, motivated, or on the right track, I do that, man. I keep in touch with a lot of the guys that I played with, even some guys from high school.
Before we kind of go on, like, talk about the dark side of the NFL a little bit about, you know, when after you get out the league, what are some of the pitfalls that these young guys, they have no idea they're going to have to deal with these things, but you lived it. You've lived around it. What are some of the things that you probably should look for after football, after NFL life?
First off, you know, that money doesn't, $1 million sounds like a lot, but it is not. You know, when you're living in that type of atmosphere, you can go through money quick. And especially when you have family and friends and outsiders, you know, reaching out with probably investment ideas or some way that they can help you, you know, double your money. Man, it's a lot of corrupt people out there. Not to say that your family and friends are corrupt, but the situations with them is, you know, you can't help everybody. And so when you find a passion as far as work to give you purpose every day, start it then. Because that way, when you're done with football, you don't have to worry about what's next. You don't have to worry about what do I have to wake up to the next day. Am I going to have enough to pay for certain parts of my life, to take care of my kids, and you know, can I live this life of somewhat luxury forever? You can set your way up. You set yourself up for that if you do it right. And the thing I'll say that bothers, that I wish I could tell a lot of people, especially of our culture, because the first thing we want to do is we want to glorify certain things. We want to get a nice car, put rims on it, you know, grab jewelry that's expensive to try to show off. We try to make a statement. We want to be seen. We want to be notified that seen as a person that's made it, especially, you know, because most of us come from inner city or from, you know, from the hood. We're happy to show off the jewelry and the car and the house and the clothes, but it's not needed, man. You have made it and you got that contract. You don't need to live that life of, hey, look at what I can drive. Look at what we know you got the money. And that's something I wish I could have done was, you know, step down from all the designer stuff and the high price cars and, you know, bottle service when you go out, and just trying to show up and show out that you got it. Everybody knows you got it. You're on TV every Sunday. Like, we know you got it. You don't need to go out there and try to glorify that stuff. Because I've seen a lot of guys that played longer than me, made way more money than me, that are struggling. I've seen some guys, you know, that have been so far in the dumpsters to where they had, you know, some have taken their lives. And that's the sad part, and the part that you don't want to get for anybody to get to. Yeah, it's dark, man, because you get mental issues thinking that when you get to thinking about all the things that you did wrong to put you in this position, and now you don't have a way of getting out, and anxiety starts to creep in, and depression gets worse, and you're at that low level of you know, giving up. You don't have the money you used to have. You don't have the friends that you can call on to get you back on track. So it's bad out there, and there's a lot of people out there that they're willing to, you know, keep pulling at you, to trying to get money from you, and to, you know, pull you in certain directions to get you doing certain things that you probably shouldn't be doing. You know, I was lucky, man. I had Jason Peters to help me out at at an early start. And if I didn't have Jason, man, there's no telling where I would be right now. You know, I'm fortunate enough to not, you know, have to work to pay, you know, my rent. My rent ain't cheap. My bills aren't cheap. My lifestyle isn't cheap. But I've been set up to where I can live a decent life, you know, to where I don't have to worry about where my money's at, because I know where my money's at.
Well, I'm one of those guys that I play, but I also benefited from being close to you, and I saw what you talking about. How many houses you think you burned down over your career? Uh-oh. We lost Warfield, Joe. There
Hello?
he is. Yeah.
My bad. Tavy was trying to call me right then.
Is he in?
I don't know.
All right, we got to get Tavy in. We got to get. Hold on a minute. We got to get Tavy in. I just text him. I need his email address.
I might have it, but I had to close out and get it on my email.
Nah, we'll close out. We'll close out here in the next. We'll close out the next segment.
All right.
And we'll close out in 3 minutes, and then we'll come back. But
right.
Warfield, like, you know, I was asking you, like, how many houses you think you burned down just in frivolous spending over the years when you was in the league?
Tavy again. It wasn't the houses, so everything like.
No, I don't mean the houses. I mean the money and the equipment.
Man, yeah, I went through a lot. Heck, again, VJ, like, it's tough for me to say what I did wrong as opposed to what I did right, because I got Jason involved early. So when I was spending big dollars, you know, I was basically within a budget spending those big dollars.
Right.
While other money was going toward investments to try to make sure I was set up when football was done. So it was within a budget, you know, and on the outside looking in, it looks like, you know, hey, man, you're spending way too much. But yeah, I know what I'm spending because it's within this card limit that I have. So, but still, just because you got it within budget doesn't mean you have to hit, you know, spend all of that budget. And I think that's kind of what I did when I was playing. Yet again, I still have to go back and, you know, thank Jason for all the things that he did for me, because heck, I didn't know how to handle that kind of money and who to trust if I was going to go to somebody as far as investments and or what kind of investments to put my money in. So luckily he was in the banking business and he sees people daily that had given him ideas as to what would work best for me.
So I want to, when I come back though, you know, these guys are getting tens of thousands of dollars now. They're getting, I'm talking about in college, they're getting 8, 9, 10 grand a month. You know, and I'm in my heart of hearts, that conversation that you just had with me, I feel like you should have with them, because they're headed down that same road because there's no guidance. And I don't know if they have a Jason Peter.
Yeah.
So when we get back, we're going to patch Octavius McFarland in. I got Eric Warfield. Ken C might patch in before we get out of here. Heart of a Husker. We'll be right back.
All right.
The captain, Vershan Jackson.
Style. getting the double-doubles here.
If you had to pass the baton down to the new guy and say, that's the new pipeline, what does that look like?
Conditioning for me ultimately is a game changer. I don't care how much you can bench, how much you can squat. If you can start a game and finish a game in the same condition in the extreme elements, you're going to have the ability to wear down your opponent. And that's what we took a lot of pride in. By the third and fourth quarter, they were dog tired. They knew it was coming at them again. The same it was in the first quarter.
The captain.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to the attention of the Nebraska Lottery that when people hear a radio commercial in their car for one of our lotto games, Powerball, Mega Millions, or Lucky for Life, they tend to begin daydreaming about how they'll spend the prize money if they win, instead of paying attention to the road. So please, when I tell you that Nebraska Lottery lotto games offer big money and big fun, keep your mind on driving. Do not start thinking about all the things you could buy if you win. Things like bright red sports cars, tropical vacations, 100-inch TVs, hot tubs, SUVs, a new computer, motorboats.
Bob, snap out of it.
Oh, good heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. Perhaps I should go home now.
You better let me drive.
Lotto games from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
This Easter, focus on your family instead of dishes with the Venue Easter to-go meals. Prepared fresh in house by our chefs, these meals are ready to heat and eat with packages for 2 to 3 people or 6 to 8 and your choice of juicy beef tenderloin, tasty herb roasted chicken, or our famous 6-pepper crusted prime rib. All meal packages come with sides and we have additional add-ons available to complete your feast. Order today at venuedelivered.com/Easter. That's venuedelivered.com/Easter.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I don't know if Tavy got it or not, Warfield. I just sent it to him. Uh-oh. Who is that in there? You got to turn your camera on. Who is him? That's what happened, Warfield. Technical difficulties. Hey, Warfield, you remember this shirt? You remember this shirt?
He gone already?
Yeah, he probably got to hit allow. He'll probably try to pass back in.
Oh, yeah, I remember that shirt.
Appreciate it. I can fit it now.
You lost some weight?
Yeah. I'm two and a quarter.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm 218.
What?
Yeah, buddy.
What are you? 218?
Yeah,
Kenny, we're on live, Kenny. Do you want me to pat you in, or are you still driving? All right, I'll hit you later. I tell Warfield you said hi. All right. Kenny said, "What's up?"
I was just texting him.
You remember that picture?
Yes, sir.
I gotta have you sign that. I'm missing Christian and you.
Where's Christian? Back in Jersey, right?
I don't know. Did he go back?
I think he's back home. I think
I didn't.
Still in Lincoln.
Yeah, I don't know if he went back or not. But Warfield, now that these guys are getting NIL money, right, and they're getting these evaluations, I guess my first question, because I've got multiple, but my first question is, could we handle NIL knowing it in back then? That's my first question. And then, what do you say to these guys who are getting anywhere from bottom feeder guys, 2,800, 3,800, maybe $5,000, not a month, close to a month, and then some of these other guys are getting $10,000, $15,000 a month. What do you say to those guys?
You know, VJ, it's hard to make a kid understand the value of a dollar, because when you're making that money, you think it's always going to come. You never know when it's going to stop. You think that you got this talent that's going to keep this money coming, and most of the time you don't really want to listen to what a person has to say, because if somebody's telling me I'm making $10,000 a month, and I got to give $7,000 or $8,000 to somebody else to invest for me, and I can live off $2,000 or $3,000 in college, I wouldn't want to hear that. I wouldn't be thinking far ahead enough to say that this is what's best for me. I wasn't mature enough to think that way back then. Now it's different. It's easy for me to say, it's easy for any of us to say what's the best thing to do and how to, make this money last you forever and you can still live a good life after the fact. But if you tell either one of us at that time we're in college, you're going to pay me $10,000, $15,000 a month, all I got to do is go to class and play football and continue doing the things that I do with my college life, technically I made it.
Technically?
I mean, because be honest, my first year at Kansas City, my check was only $15,000 a week. Now that's small compared to what the starters make. It sounds like a lot of money, but you don't get that every 12 months out the year. You get that for every game that you play. And then when that season's over with, whatever that $15,000 per week that you made, that's got to last you through the off season. Again, we don't think about what's going to happen in the off season. I'm about to spend in the moment to buy me some nice shoes, nice clothes, get me a car, put some nice stuff in my house, probably buy some jewelry. I want to see what all shoes come out weekly. We got a bad way of thinking, especially with the Black culture. And so I just wish that they could understand, in the moment, how important this could be for their future. To take that, if you're getting $10,000, take $7,000 of that or $6,000 of that and give it to somebody that can invest for you. Put it into an account. When you're done with college and you're searching for that job, you still got this money that you can fall back on that when you haven't started making this kind of money yet, or if you don't make it to the league, you got this money that can get you by until things start to, moving for you. But I just wish kids would understand that. And I talk to kids nowadays, and a lot of them, they just caught up in the moment of what they're making and who they are and what's in the future. Everybody on the football team thinks they're going pro. Every single person does. Not only do they know that maybe one or two of those guys is going to make it.
Well, talking about that, I mean, it wasn't like you was a lock to make it. You know what I mean? Being almost next to the last pick in that draft in '97. Yep. You know, how hard was it for you to make it?
I didn't even think I was gonna make it. That's the funny part. VJ, this whole time I was in Nebraska, I didn't think I was a good football player. I just knew I was a good athlete. I could do any sport out there you wanted me to do and do it good. I couldn't do it great. I could do it good. I could do every sport known that you put in front of me and do it well. So when it came to football, I didn't think I was great. Just to be honest, I didn't think I belonged in Nebraska.
Wow.
I thought I thought the team was too good for me. But then I look at my role and the little things that I did, I contributed in some fashion, some way. But then when it came down to it, the draft comes. I'm not faster than half these guys on this team. I'm not quicker than most of these guys on this team. I don't hit as hard as Tavy and a lot of these guys on the team. I don't cover as good as Ralph and these other guys on this team. But when it came down to it, I got drafted. It was almost last person, but I made the draft. I made a little money. And I ended up getting on the team, and I learned some things. I learned some things from some veterans that kept me a part of the Chiefs team. I didn't get in there. I went from safety to corner. That's not a transition a lot of guys make. And I went to a starting corner. Now, as bad as people want to say I played, I got stats out there. I got a Wikipedia page that says I did it, and I did it at a high level. So I'm proud of what I did. Could I have done a lot of things better? Hell yeah. I made some mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. But I ended up doing it, something that was unheard of. And that was, for me, a guy that didn't think he was a football player. I thought I was going to run track and play basketball.
Wow.
And they ended up playing in the NFL for a long time as a starter.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to say. How hard was that going for him? Of course, I was there with you for a year, year and a half. How hard was it from safety to a corner?
So when I got with Dale Carter, James Hasty, and Mark McMillan, I didn't do anything the way they did it. James was a big, bulky guy that was smart, just knew every damn thing. Dale Carter was like a jackrabbit out there that's wired 24/7. He can go out and come back in the morning and run your play and never miss a beat. Mark McMillan was short in stature and didn't make the biggest tackles, but he made plays. And so I had to learn something from each one of these guys in order to make myself a part of this secondary. And when I came in, all they know is this dude's got some long arms, so put him at the line of scrimmage and let him jam receivers. It worked. So now all I got to do is jam you at the line and follow you around. It worked. Coming to the second year, I'm playing a lot. Coming to the third year, I'm starting. What the heck is going on? How is all this happening? It just started to transition for me. So that first year, they called me up, and I was going to Kansas City. I was like, man, I got this phone call that basically says I'm a part of the Chiefs, but when I get there, I know I'm going to get cut the next day because I never played corner in my life. I've never guarded anybody. So what's the whole point of bringing me in here? But fortunate enough, I picked up things slowly and ended up becoming one of the Chiefs. I think I'm in the tops in interceptions out there. But, again, I didn't think it would happen.
I'm still shocked sometimes. Not that you couldn't do it because you're an athlete. You know what I mean? But I think you know what I mean. How fast those 9 years went, and how at a high level you played at those 9 years. But when I look back, I always say, you know, what if you could have had a Warfield that was consulting you back then?
Oh man, I'd probably still be playing right now at 47.
See, but that's what I just think that those guys, you know what I mean, those young guys coming through the shoot now, they need to hear this real, and I think they need to hear it from somebody that looks like them, somebody that's been through what all of them want to go through one day, that only 3% or 1% are going to go through.
Yep.
What would you say to them?
For one, be confident in whatever you do. Everybody's not gonna get a chance. I mean, you get a chance to play at the NFL when you line up on Saturdays. That's you building your resume. Now, when it comes down to it, and you get with these agents and you get with these scouts, and you have to perform, do your best. Go into that team, get to know the guys that are playing your position that are starters. Become best friends with them. They ask you to do something, you do it. Don't question. So when it comes to time to where you need to perform and you don't know things, they will help you easy. When it comes to getting cut or making the team, they will speak up for you because they know that you want to be there. Because you are taking the time to do the things that you need to do in order to be on this team. Whether it's doing the little stuff for them and doing the big stuff for yourself, is trying to understand, how do I become a professional corner? What is he eating? What is he watching on TV? How does he dress? What does he drive? How does he study his playbook? Who does he hang out with? Like, I was trying to figure out everything with these dudes. And then when it came down to it, Hasty was like, this is my little bro, man. Like, he is like everything that what I am. He's just longer. All my movements from my first couple of years came from James Hasty. And when it came down to getting cut, I knew I had outperformed some of the guys that were drafted. And I think Robert Williams, they called him Quick at the time, was drafted the 5th. And we had a couple other guys drafted with us. And I knew by the time our passing OTAs were done, I had outperformed most of these guys. And I wasn't too concerned about if they were going to get cut before me. Now, the only thing that could have happened was that, being that they were drafted higher than me, they had already committed to a certain amount of money. And so if you cut them, you still got to pay them a certain amount. That's way more than what you're paying me. So the politics side of it could have played into it, but it came down to potential as to what they were looking for. And so when those cuts came, a lot of those guys didn't make it. And when it came for guys having to speak up, you know, I had the star DBs that were like, you know, this guy can be a part of our group. He can be a player in this league.
Yeah. Hey, 1997. What was your best game?
Oh, I don't even know, man. Like, our team was so good and so fun to the point of, like, I couldn't even pick out like a game for me that was just a highlight of my career. And outside of the Missouri game, of which we had to go to overtime, I think we had one other game that year that was probably close. Man, we had blowout games. Everything was fun. So, Colorado, okay. That was a fun one. That boy got VHS.
Hey, I've been watching this stuff. Look.
That boy got VHS.
Hold up. You remember that game?
Yeah, buddy, that was a fun one there.
Nebraska, Washington?
Yes, sir.
Hold up.
You got a VHS, and why don't you get them converted digitally?
I just got these.
How you get them?
You remember my big brother John?
What's his last name?
Julie. You remember my big brother?
Yeah.
So not only does he got these tapes, he's got newspaper clippings from back in the day. Y'all's recruiting class, our recruiting class, everything, man. Hold up. I'm quite sure you did the Coach Osborne show, right?
With all the guys that came out here, yeah.
No, you remember how we used to do the Coach Osborne show where we'd have to go up to Husker Vision?
Man, I don't even remember that.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna refresh your memory, but look. Do you see what NBA game that is? Championship game that is?
I can't read that.
The Lakers versus the Pistons, 1988.
Oh wow. Dang.
Baylor versus NU was the game. Hold on. You did that too. You're on there.
Damn.
Tom
So you gonna get somebody to make them digital for you?
Yes, sir. K-State, Texas Tech, 97.
Yeah, buddy. The Texas Tech was a good game for me and Tavy.
It wasn't?
What about, he was getting on us.
What about Texas A&M?
Oh, yeah. We putting it on them boys.
Well, yeah, that's what. But this is Texas Tech junior year. This 96.
Was that in Texas Tech?
Yes.
So that's the game that me and Tavy didn't play good. And Tavy was all happy because that's going home for him.
Right.
And Coach B was getting on our butts.
This is Texas Tech 97.
Okay, well that's different then. Yeah, we did some damage then.
Hold on, let me see what else we got. Oh, 96 NUOU.
Yeah, I think we beat them real bad that year.
We beat the brakes off there. That was.
I think that, you know what? I think that Central Florida game was close, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Culpepper?
Yeah. I mean, it ended up being 42-24, but it was close to the beginning.
Gotcha, yeah.
It was close. This is 96 K-State. Can you have a block in that game?
I think I did block a punt.
Yeah, or interception. You had an interception in that game too. That was
it was one of the K-State games. I don't know which one.
That game, it was at K-State.
Okay.
I don't forget too much. What about you remember so you remember we got beat. Was you playing when we got beat by Arizona State?
Yep.
You was?
Yep.
Well, I take my hat off to you guys because y'all play lights out. We play like you know what.
It was 19 to what? 0?
Yes. How many points you think came off a turn? They only scored one time. All the rest of the points came off turnovers. Safeties.
Man.
You got Colorado State NU. That was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
That was a game after the loss. Oh, the night game. Kansas versus us at Nebraska.
Well, that was a spanking.
That was a fun game.
Who was that? Who they have?
Remember they had y'all let what's name do y'all? Bird, I think it was. That was the receiver. Isaac Bird or somebody. Remember
yeah, I do remember that name. Yep.
Yeah, Isaac Bird did y'all in a little bit, but we put it together. All right, let me see. I got the 96 Orange Bowl.
Yeah. Damage.
I got the 95 Orange Bowl.
Yeah, buddy. Epic. So man, that's the crazy thing. Like I look at our games or like our bowl games and people question like, I take my hat off to Nick Saban for what he's done. He's put together some teams with a bunch of high 5-star recruiters. Like he's got all 5-star recruits. We didn't have that. But when we played bowl games, we made a statement. We might have started out slow in a couple of them, but when the wheels got to rolling, we made statements. And we didn't have close games. And so you don't see like the close games like, Alabama having with most of these teams that they play. Outside of what Georgia did to TCU, that's about the only blowout game that I've seen in the national championship. But we were handing out haymakers.
It would be the 97 ball game against Tennessee, but in 90.
Yep. And Tennessee had some dogs, man.
All them first-round picks they had?
All of them.
Defensive end, first round, Terry Fair. Players.
Man, they had some dogs on that team and got what they mollywop.
This is Fiesta Bowl. 96. That was a fun game.
That was fun.
That was a fun game. What do you think was your funnest game? Where you just had fun. You just was a kid out there.
What was that? I'll say this and not to bring any bad things into it. The game that me and you got, and I think it was just me and you, right? Got suspended for the first. I enjoyed that Oklahoma game because I had to play for something.
They had to play us.
Had to play for something.
That hurt. Hey, that hurt though.
Yeah, it did.
That hurt.
It did. We made a statement though.
We did make a statement. But you know what? And look, when you watch the game now, you see it. You can tell when we came into the game.
Yeah.
Like, okay, because that said game, we're not doing much of anything right now. And here comes Mr. Warfield into the game.
Yeah.
And here comes VJ into the game. I think the other two guys, I don't think that they was the other two they didn't play much.
Nobody knew what happened either, so that was a good part,
They didn't either. I thought the coach that walked in on us, I thought he didn't have to run it all the way up the ladder.
Yeah. Could have did it himself. Yeah.
He could have just punished us. You know what I mean? And that would have, to me, right? That would have bonded us to him. He would have forever had something over us.
100%.
But that didn't happen like that. So
it didn't.
It did. It hurt, but it didn't hurt. We came back. Yeah, hey, you didn't have a choice.
Licks.
And I know y'all want to know what it is. And we're not gonna tell. Terrell already be trying to rat me out, Warfield. He's trying to rat me out. Hey, he wasn't even there for that. He wasn't even there for that. I always say this. Could you imagine if Coach Brown walked in 15 minutes before that?
Everybody.
Now, you know the story, right? You know when I went in, you know what the gangster asked me, right?
No.
Give me names. What was I supposed to say? You know what I'm saying? All right, coach, forget it. You got me, man. I ain't even going down that road. You got me.
It was me.
We did some stuff. But again, I think having people like yourself, like myself, like Tavy, like Kenny, I think it'll help. So listen. Part of a Husker. Warfield, we ain't going 2 hours.
Nah, man. If you're back next week, let me know. I can come on next week.
We're back, telling you now, we're back next week.
All right, bet.
Make sure that Kenny, Tavy, and everybody get in next week because I think it'll be good to get all the guys back and just talk some of this story. And I'm gonna dig into some of these tapes.
All right. Yeah, let me know who you get. Come on next week, man. I'm here.
Okay, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir, man. Love you, bro.
Tell my mother, Miss Rose, hi for me.
Will do.
All right, man.
Have a good
Hey,
one.
part of a Husker, Eric Warfield, 2-time national champ. My brother from another mother. Love you, bro.
Love you, man.